Something insane just cracked open in the Zeus universe, and trust me, this makes the Kardashians look like a church choir rehearsing for Easter Sunday. Because apparently, the CEO of Zeus himself didn't just call security, didn't just call his assistant, didn't just call his therapist, nitrogen monoxide. He allegedly picked up that shiny corporate iPhone and called the police on Chrisean Rock. Like she was the final boss of a video game nobody knows how to beat. And if that wasn't wild enough, the streets are whispering something even darker. Something straight out of a midnight conspiracy thread. People are actually asking whether Chrisean Rock had something to do with Ronny Doe's mysterious situation. A situation so messy, so cloudy, so question mark filled that even TMZ said, yeah, we'll sit this one out. Because the moment Zeus tried to distance themselves, the internet did what the internet does best, explode like a microwave full of metal, dragging every rumor, screenshot, blurry screenshot, and shadow of a screenshot into the spotlight. So buckle up, because the deeper we go, the more the story starts looking like a deleted season of Power mixed with love and hip-hop on steroids. And Chrisean is standing right in the center, smiling like she knows exactly what comes next. The chaos didn't start with the police call. That was simply the spark that lit a gas station, full of leaking rumors. This entire mess actually began when the Zeus team tried to control Chrisean Rock, which is basically like trying to put a seatbelt on a tornado and telling it to relax. The CEO had reportedly been dealing with behind-the-scenes explosions for months, but this time, something snapped. And when Chrisean snaps back, social media breaks faster than Blueface's remains of a courier. The first whispers came from a staff member who claimed the CEO had been pacing around the building like a man trying to disarm a bomb he accidentally set himself. They said he was yelling something like, "I can't take this anymore," before slamming his office door so hard the blinds fell. And of course, someone recorded the audio on their phone because Zeus employees treat going viral like a retirement plan. Then came the leaked text messages, the kind that looked like they were screenshotted on a potato, but still clear enough to cause chaos. One message read, "Call LAPD. I'm not dealing with this alone." Another said, "She crossed the line. I mean it this time," and instantly, the internet lit up like a Christmas tree in a warehouse fire. Because who else could she possibly be? Santa Claus? Beyonce? No. Everyone knew who the chaos magnet was. Chrisean Rock's name shot into the conversation so fast you'd think somebody fired it out of a cannon. Fans were speculating wildly, throwing theories around like confetti at a toxic wedding. Some said she had stormed the office. Others swore she threatened to leak a secret. And then the conspiracy theorists clocked in and said she was hiding something even bigger. Something about Ronny Doe. Ronny Doe. A name that only pops up when something scandalous is brewing. A name that always sounds like the main character in a crime documentary narrated by Morgan Freeman. People claimed he had been involved in a situation that suddenly went dark, and the internet loves nothing more than connecting imaginary dots with real chaos. Screenshots began circulating claiming, "Chrisean knows what happened, no evidence, no facts. Just vibes and adrenaline." Zeus viewers immediately treated this like another bonus episode, screaming that the CEO finally realized Chrisean comes with her own weather system, thunder, lightning, and emotional earthquakes. They pointed out that every time Chrisean walks into a room, someone cries, something breaks, and someone's career loses 2 years of life expectancy. So if anyone was going to drive a CEO to call the police, it would be her. As more rumors multiplied like rapids on caffeine, Zeus's silence made it worse. The public kept demanding answers, while the CEO allegedly locked himself in crisis mode, drafting emails like, "Effective immediately. I am unavailable for all nonsense." Insiders said he tried to keep the story internal. But you can't hide a hurricane with a doormat. And once the internet smelled drama, it devoured every scrap. The reactions piled up in real time. Fans made threads mapping out every Chrisean meltdown like it was a geological study. Commentators posted long breakdowns titled, "Things like the truth they don't want you to know." And TikTok detectives zoomed into every pixel of the leaked texts like they were solving a national security threat. The pressure cooker finally exploded when someone claimed Chrisean had shown up demanding answers about Ronny Doe. They said the CEO panicked because she wasn't just asking questions, she was asking them with the energy of someone who flips tables for cardio. Witnesses said the vibe in the office went from peaceful to Lifetime original movie in 10 seconds flat. Once that leaked, the timeline caught fire. The idea that Chrisean may have confronted the CEO about Ronny made the perfect storm. Comments flooded with lines like, "She knows something, and why would he call the cops?" If she was innocent, nobody wanted the truth, they wanted the mess. And this mess grew wings. Memes started rolling out nonstop. One showed the Zeus CEO hiding under his desk with the caption, when Chrisean says she's on her way. Another show Chrisean walking through fire with the words, Zeus security clocking out. The internet was having the time of its life, crunching on popcorn while the flames kept rising. But what truly poured gasoline on the situation was a leaked voice memo where someone whispered. She said she'd expose everything. That single line turned Twitter into a circus. People claimed Chrisean had receipts that could sink Zeus entirely. Others said she had secret footage. Some insisted Ronny Doe wasn't missing, he was hidden. Theories got so wild even Netflix writers probably took notes. The reactions from celebrities didn't help either. Blueface posted a cryptic tweet saying, "Told y'all," which of course meant absolutely nothing but somehow made everything worse. His mom Carlissa jumped in with, "God don't like ugly," which also meant nothing but added pure chaos. Meanwhile, nobody had an actual piece of evidence. But that never stops the entertainment industry from spiraling. Then a supposed insider leak claimed that Ronny Doe had reached out to Zeus about something serious. Fans didn't know what that meant, so naturally, they just assumed the worst possible option. Some said Ronny was blackmailing the network. Others said he found evidence of something shady. A few even said he made a mistake by getting close to Chrisean. The theories multiplied like gremlins in bathwater. The pressure on the CEO escalated until he finally reached his breaking point. According to the rumors, he grabbed his phone with shaking hands and dialed the police so dramatically. You think he was reenacting a scene from Scandal? And he didn't whisper, "I need assistance." No. He allegedly yelled something like, "Send help now," loud enough for the whole floor to hear. The 911 colleague, which may or may not be real, sent the internet into orbit. One clip claimed he said, "She's threatening me." Another said he screamed, "This is dangerous." And the third version says he only hung up breathing heavily like he had run a marathon away from a demon. Whether any of it was real didn't matter. The audience just needed something to gasp at. Part 2 of this chaos surged forward like a runaway train when influencers began reacting. Every drama page, every gossip blog, every YouTube commentator armed themselves with microphones and over-the-top thumbnails. The headlines read like pure adrenaline. Zeus CEO terrified, Chrisean's final warning. What happened to Ronny Doe? People who had never heard of Zeus before suddenly cared about every detail. Even celebrities who had no business in the story jumped in for clout. Some posted laughing emojis. Others acted shocked. A few pretended to know insider details when their only source was a Twitter thread, written by someone with 7 followers and an anime profile picture. The memes got even crazier. One viral one showed Ronny Doe fading like he was in an Avengers movie, with Chrisean standing over him holding a mysterious envelope. Another showed the Zeus CEO on FaceTime with the police saying, "Yes, I'll hold," with tears pouring down his face like a cartoon. It was absolute social media warfare. More twists came flying in as people dug up old clips of Chrisean, saying things like, "I'll expose everybody." That was enough for fans to scream, "See, she's been warning us." Even though she says that at least twice a month, it suddenly became groundbreaking evidence. People posted timestamp charts. They posted analysis breakdowns. They posted slow-motion edits like Chrisean was a Marvel villain being studied by scientists. Then came the Ronny Doe theory 2.0. Someone claimed Ronny had been last seen arguing with someone connected to Zeus. Another said he had footage of something that could end careers, and someone else insisted Chrisean was trying to protect him or threaten him or expose him, depending on which side of Twitter you were reading. The drama escalated so much that even Chrisean's own fans split into factions. Some said she was innocent in being set up. Others said she was being framed by Zeus. And a small chaotic group said she absolutely did something but they loved her anyway. It was the kind of fandom war that could make the Bayhive take notes. Every year brought a new rumor. One said Zeus security had locked all doors. Another said the CEO left the building escorted by guards. Someone else posted a blurry video claiming to show the police arriving. It could have been an Uber. But at that point, nobody cared about facts. Celebrities added more gasoline. Hazily posted a cryptic prayer. Natalie Nunn posted lip gloss selfies like nothing happened, which made people even more suspicious. And Blueface kept tweeting random emojis like a man trying to communicate through hieroglyphics. By the time the second day hit, the Ronny Doe rumor had grown into a full-blown urban legend. Some said he was missing. Others said he was hiding. A few insane theories claimed he was meeting with journalists to expose everything. And the wildest ones insisted Chrisean did something unthinkable, even though nobody knew who sources were except someone named at your Malaver for 120. But the moment that really poured lighter fluid on this story was when a Zeus employee posted and then deleted a single sentence. "You don't know the half of it." that one line triggered more chaos than the actual police call. The public took that as absolute confirmation that something huge was brewing. TikTok detectives stitched that post with dramatic music like they were unearthing FBI secrets. Twitter went ballistic, demanding answers. Reddit built entire conspiracy maps with strings connecting faces like a TV detective losing his mind. And then the twist nobody expected arrived, a rumor that Chrisean had demanded Zeus clear her name or she would burn the whole building down. Metaphorically, the metaphor part didn't make it into the viral quote, of course. By the time the internet got a hold of it, people were tweeting, Chrisean threatened to burn down Zeus. Everything spiraled into absolute madness. Commenters were fighting. Receipts were dropping. Fake demons were being exposed as fake, then reposted as real, then exposed again. It was a digital battlefield. And through all of it, the Zeus CEO stayed silent, which made people assume the worst. Theories turned into obsessions, obsessions turned into panic, and panic turned into content. Everyone milked the scandal like it was the last cow on earth. And that brings us to the point where the entire internet became convinced that Chrisean Rock was at the center of the biggest Zeus meltdown in history. And that Ronny Doe wasn't just a rumor. He was the missing piece of an explosive puzzle nobody could fully see yet. The aftermath of this circus hit harder than anyone expected. The moment the police rumors spread, everyone started watching Zeus like a reality show that suddenly turned into a true crime documentary. Viewers weren't just entertained, they were invested. Pacing around like detectives waiting on a lab report, social media became a courtroom, and every post, every tweet, every emoji was treated like evidence in a trial that didn't even officially exist. The Zeus CEO's reputation took the first hit. People mocked him ruthlessly for allegedly calling the police on someone he willingly hired to bring chaos to the network. Commenters joked that he wanted lightning but panicked when the storm arrived. Memes showed him filing restraining orders against his own employees. Others compared him to a babysitter who accepted the job, then freaked out when the toddler started sprinting with scissors. Meanwhile, Chrisean's image split into two realities. One side said she was being unfairly targeted by a network milking her name for profit, then acting shocked when she acted exactly like herself. The other side claimed she was the final boss of Hollywood chaos, capable of shaking an entire company with one threat, one meltdown, or one mysterious reference to Ronny Doe. Both sides agreed on one thing: she knows how to keep the internet hooked. As the fallout grew, more insiders popped up claiming to know the truth. Some said Zeus was considering removing her from upcoming projects. Others swore the CEO was trying to smooth things over behind the scenes. But nothing was confirmed, which only made the tension worse. Fans were left refreshing their feeds every 5 minutes, like addicts waiting for their next dose of chaos. The Ronny Doe storyline became the darkest twist in this entire saga. Rumors kept multiplying like they were being grown in a lab. People swore he vanished after contacting Zeus. Others said he was alive and well, staying quiet because he feared backlash. The wilder theories claimed he had dirt on Zeus, or dirt on Chrisean, or both, depending on the mood of whoever was tweeting. The lack of clear answers made the story feel like an urban legend with a pulse. The more Zeus ignored the situation, the louder the public became. Commentators demanded transparency. Fans begged for statements. Trolls wrote entire fictional novels disguised as T-threads. Somehow, the rumor that Chrisean was involved in Ronny's situation kept resurfacing. Even though nobody had a single solid fact, it didn't matter. This was entertainment disguised as concern, and everyone was playing their role. Then came the ultimate backfire. Zeus attempted to pivot to a normal upload schedule, posting trailers like everything was fine. The internet did not accept that. Every trailer comment section got hijacked with, "Where's the police call?" and "What did Chrisean do?" and dropped the Ronny footage. The network couldn't promote anything without being dragged back into the scandal vortex. Celebrities began choosing sides. Some defended Chrisean, calling her misunderstood. Others subtly shaded her, saying things like chaos isn't good for business even though they built their own careers off drama. A few stayed neutral, terrified of becoming the next headline in this saga. The industry quietly observed, wondering whether Zeus was collapsing from inside or simply having an allergic reaction to the truth. The tension peaked when another leak emerged, a blurry, low-quality clip of someone who sounded suspiciously like the CEO saying she can't control herself. Whether it was real or not didn't matter. The internet treated it like a leaked presidential wiretap. People demanded accountability. They demanded explanations. They demanded answers nobody seemed willing to give. The public perception of Zeus shifted overnight. What used to be the messy but fun network suddenly looked fragile, chaotic, and borderline terrified of its own cast. Investors reportedly grew nervous. Employees allegedly whispered about resigning. and the CEO's silence only made it seem like he was preparing for something explosive. On the other side, Chrisean's fanbase doubled in size. People loved her rawness, her unpredictability, her refusal to play by Hollywood rules. They said she was being unfairly painted as a villain, when she was actually the only honest one in the room. Others argued she was too volatile and needed accountability. Regardless, her name stayed trending, proving once again that the world runs on controversy, not clarity. The Ronny Doe chapter refused to die. Every time the story began to settle, someone dropped a new unverified screenshot claiming to show messages, threats, warnings, or promises. TikTok detectives created hour-long breakdowns. Twitter threads hit millions of views. Reddit users analyzed backgrounds, timestamps, and shadows like forensic experts who missed their calling. No one actually knew anything. But that never stopped the internet from building an entire universe around a rumor. Zeus eventually tried releasing a short statement saying there is no active investigation. But the damage was already done. People commented things like, "That's exactly what you'd say if there was one. And we don't believe you until Chrisean speaks." The statement only added more suspicion, transforming a simple denial into another chapter of speculation. What made things worse was Chrisean's own silence. She didn't address the police rumor. She didn't address the Ronny theory. She simply lived her life publicly, posting selfies, laughing, dancing, and going about her routines like she wasn't the center of a digital manhunt. Her silence made her look confident to some and guilty to others. But either way, it kept everyone watching. By the end of it all, the Zeus CEO was reportedly stuck in crisis meetings trying to rebuild the company's image. Staff members spoke about walking on eggshells. Advertisers pulled back slightly, waiting to see how the scandal unfolded. And fans stuck glued to their screens, waiting for the next explosion, the next leak, the next viral twist that would send this story back into chaos mode. The public perception remained split. Half believed the CEO overreacted because he finally met someone he couldn't control. The other half believed Chrisean was being unfairly demonized, because networks profit from her personality but panic when it becomes inconvenient. And everyone, absolutely everyone, kept asking, what happened to Ronny Doe? That question still floats in the air like smoke from a fire nobody turned off. No answers, no proof. Just rumor, adrenaline, and a scandal that refuses to die. And that's exactly why this story isn't over. Not even close. And if you made it this far, congratulations, you just survived another episode of real-life madness disguised as entertainment. But don't get comfortable yet, because in this world, scandals don't sleep. They don't take breaks. They don't clock out. They multiply like drama gremlins fed after midnight. And judging by how fast this one spiraled, the next explosion might be minutes away. So before the internet drops another mysterious screenshot, before someone leaks another blurry voice memo, before Ronny Doe magically appears or disappears again, make sure you're logged in. Smash that like button like it owes you child support. Hit that subscribe button like you're trying to notify the entire FBI. And drop a comment telling me what you think actually happened. Because the theories I've seen so far could win awards for creativity, chaos, and pure delusion. Your comments aren't just comments, they're gasoline for this fire. They're the fuel that keeps these investigations going. They're the reason every rumor becomes a storyline, and every storyline becomes a digital earthquake. And trust me, when the next plot twist drops, and it will drop, you're going to want front row seats. This universe doesn't calm down. It doesn't fade out. It doesn't end. It reloads. It reloads again. Then it reloads a third time just because it can. So stay ready, stay watching, and stay messy, because the next scandal might already be unfolding behind someone's locked office door. And when it hits the internet, you'll hear it here first.